Welcome to another enlightening episode of the Tax Talk, a program that serves as a comprehensive guide for viewers seeking to understand the complex terrain of taxation and tax administration. I am your host, Oyinlola Sale, and I'm thrilled to be your guide through the details of the tax world. We have an interesting and power-packed lineup to keep you engaged. Let's get started.
This is Business News. The chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Mr. Taxpayer, says it is worrying that the country incurs losses of up to 6 trillion naira in tax waivers annually, adding that this amount is equivalent to the annual revenue generated by the government. Making this known in an interview monitored in Lagos, Mr. Oyedele stated that the levels of government have failed to measure the impact of tax waivers on the economy. His words, quote, "Yes, as a matter of fact, we are giving away about 6 trillion naira annually," the financial expert said in his confirmation of the figure, which the Senate recently quoted as tax waivers. Nai Payment Service Bank and the Lagos Food Bank Initiative have partnered to give curated food boxes to the elderly and widows in the Lagos areas of Isolo, Alimosho, Mushi, and Lagos Island as part of activities to commemorate the bank's 3rd anniversary. The partnership is aimed at providing families experiencing food insecurity with carefully selected food boxes filled with necessities and staple foods. The program is consistent with the corporate social responsibility and community engagement as part of the key values of the bank. The Chief Executive Officer of Night Payment Service Bank, Branka Rachajag, speaking during the outreach, expressed her excitement about the partnership, saying, "As we celebrate our 3rd anniversary, we are honored to work with the Lagos Food Bank Initiative to give back to the community, especially those in need." The Executive Director of the Lagos Food Bank Initiative, Michael Subola, while felicitating with the bank on their 3rd anniversary, thanked the bank for the partnership and highlighted the importance of such in addressing hunger, especially in the light of the present economic realities in the country. The federal government, through the Federal Inland Revenue Service, has announced plans to detect tax evaders, recover lost revenues, and prevent tax leakages through improved tax enforcement schemes. The Executive Chairman, FIRS, Mr. Zak Adedeji, stated this at the annual Commerce and Industry Correspondent Association of Nigeria annual workshop, Awards and Recognition themed Effect of the Federal Government's Tax Reforms on the Economy. He stated that the move is coming on the heels of the pronouncement of the federal government's desire to raise tax to gross domestic product ratio to 18% in the next 3 years without having to impose additional taxes, saying this will be achieved through the use of tax laws to boost compliance. That's it on Business News.
I will make a start shortlist business. They give 150k to my friends. Let's do this. Taxes? I didn't even think about this. So I'll have to pay tax to build a house in Lagos. Maybe I should take a remote job. That way, I can avoid taxes. But wait though, bloggers and content creators pay taxes too. So tax officials in Lagos monitor digital space for tax payment. Wait, why don't I start importing and exporting of phones and gadgets? Bro, how far now?
Femo, how far?
Bro, I won't join the business where they do.
Oh, small. You just need money. I hope you have your tax clearance certificate.
Tax? Are you kidding me?
Without it, shishi, you no fit do. You have to visit the nearest tax office.
I can't believe it. There's no way out of this. I have to face my tax obligations if I want to start a life in Lagos.
Dear Lagosians, your taxes enable the government to invest in education, healthcare, security, housing, and many more. By continuing to pay your taxes, you are investing in a brighter future for all. This message is brought to you by the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, LIRS.
Thank you for staying connected to the Tax Talk. Let's now dive into our focus on the big story. For today, taxpayers' responsibilities and government's expectations. As citizens, we play a vital role in the nation's progress, through our tax contributions. But what are our responsibilities and what can we expect from the government in return? All of these questions have been addressed in our focus on the big story. Take a listen.
This is the big story. In the diverse economic of Lagos, where finance, manufacturing, technology, and entertainment thrive, the government shoulders significant responsibilities. To propel Lagos forward, the Lagos state government relies on tax revenue, the lifeblood sustaining the state's development. The responsibilities of a taxpayer extend beyond a legal obligation. They represent a shared commitment to progress and development. It's a social contract, a partnership between the government and its citizens. Embracing this partnership means contributing to the vibrancy of the dynamic city of Lagos, ensuring it continues to thrive. Through responsible taxation, we co-create a city that stands as a beacon of diversity, growth, and shared prosperity.
When you look at the responsibilities of the government, starting from the protection of lives and property, provisioning of infrastructure, healthcare services, schools for the children, and there's a subsidization of so many government facilities are all a function or product of tax. So to that extent, tax is very important.
By 2052, we expect that Lagos will be Africa's model mega city and global economic hub that will be productive and would have continuous development. So that's the basic reason why tax is very, very important for the development of the city. We're looking at infrastructural development. We're looking at unlocking the potential of gas. We're looking at energy. We're looking at complementing what we have from the national grid. We cannot compare the infrastructure we have in Lagos City to other states, but we're looking beyond what we actually have on ground. We're also looking at the fourth mainland bridge. Because of the population that keeps on rising, we're looking at expanding the housing that we have on ground so that it can accommodate Lagosians. We're looking at not just the infrastructural developments, which we know will support a thriving economy. We're looking at our transit and port services. These are services that with tax we can improve on what we have on ground. The importance of taxes is for us to have a human-centric city, a city that is focused on housing, that is focused on health, that is focused on social development, that is focused on education.
Responsibilities extend beyond just paperwork. It's about filing tax returns honestly, commitment to accuracy, contributing to a system that supports the growth of Lagos State. In a diverse economy like Lagos, taxpayers play a vital role. Fulfilling tax obligations ensures the government has the resources needed to invest in infrastructure and public services. Being a responsible taxpayer isn't just a duty, it's a commitment to the collective progress of the vibrant city of Lagos.
Taxpayers have a set of obligations that will ensure the smooth running of the state. And one of the most important one is that all individuals and businesses must register to pay their taxes. They must register on the e-tax platform if they have not registered before. A unique PID, personal identification number, will be created for them, which is unique to them. And that is what they would use whenever they have any dealings with the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service. So once that ID has been created for them, that is what they're going to use to remit and pay their taxes. So it is expected that it's created, the next thing you do is to pay. You pay, and like we are now currently in the filing season, so we expect that the businesses that have employees, even if it is just one employee that you have, we expect that you file a return of all the deductions that you've made on a monthly basis from that employee's income and what you have remitted to the agency. And just in case you've not remitted all, This is a period for you to do a self-audit and remit whatever is outstanding and file the returns of all your employees. So if you have one employee, if you have 1,000 employees or 3,000 employees, we expect 100% compliance, and that's for the employer. As an individual, as long as you're earning income, whether you're a pensioner, whether you're a retiree, whether you are a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, irrespective of your position, as long as you're earning income, then you have to pay your taxes. You are not exempted from taxes. So we expect that if you're fortunate enough to be employed and you're fortunate enough to also run a business where you have other sources of income, we expect you to declare all the income that you earn and pay taxes on that income.
This is just what we have in Section 24, subsection F, which talks about the duties of the citizen. And this allows and mandates every citizens that are having income to genuinely and honestly make sure that they declare those income to the appropriate authority so that the tax can be paid. So that is a social contract. And when you look at the size of what government needs to do, you realize that citizens are just meant to pay a bit of it. So which means your bit, if it's paid, it will be in a pool where government can now have opportunity to do the larger functions that they have been elected or put in place to do.
The Lagos State government runs tax education and awareness initiatives to foster a culture of appropriate taxes. The purpose of these programs is to enlighten the public on their tax rights and obligations.
We've had a series of staff of LRS, on high-level staff. We've even had the chairman of LRS, Mr. Ayosoba, has also spoken on this particular program, trying to educate and enlighten people that tune into the program on the importance of paying taxes. We also have what we call TEAT. We have a team, a dedicated team, Tax Education and Enlightenment team, that go around and sensitize people about taxation and try to educate them on what they need to do. Educate them on tax administration, what they're supposed to pay as taxes if they have issues. We also have about 41 tax stations that are available for people to visit. Those that decide that they don't want to make use of the internet or the electronic system of being enlightened. If you're someone that is very, very basic, we also have the tax stations and the mini tax stations that are available. Even from the informal sector, we have the Ibile Hub. We have a series of sensitization that is available for the market women also to have information and be informed about taxation.
Taxpayers have specific obligations to meet timely payment of taxes and accurate filing of tax returns. One such initiative is the e-tax platform, a user-friendly online system that allows taxpayers to conveniently file their tax returns from the comfort of their homes or offices. By embracing these initiatives, Lagos is not just ensuring tax compliance, it's creating a pathway for a more engaged and empowered community. In Lagos, the road to compliance is paved with innovation and accessibility, ensuring that taxpayers are partners in the city's continuous development.
Every taxpayer wants a transparent use of their money. They want to have ease of payment. They want to be clear about how you are and how you're taxing or asking them to pay a revenue or the other. So to that extent, Lagos State has done a lot in trying to engage the citizens by putting the law in place and the system in place to educate the payers on what is expected of them. And that's translating into the IGR trajectory that we have had over the time.
Fulfilling one's civic duty is more than a responsibility. It is an investment in the future of Lagos State. As taxpayers in Lagos State have the responsibility to contribute to the development of the state, the government reciprocates by ensuring transparency and fairness in the utilization of the contributions. In this mutual commitment, a thriving Lagos is achieved.
Nothing goes for nothing, so definitely we owe it to the taxpayers that the taxes they are paying are judiciously utilized for their benefits in general. Looking at infrastructure, we already have the blue rail and the red rail lines that are available. So that is for us to take the pressure of traveling by road. And we're also looking at the aspects of ferry services, improving on that aspect also, so that we can spread the mode and means of transportation and improve the efficiency and timeliness of getting to where a taxpayer needs to get to. We're looking at health. I know definitely that the state has that focus of making this state a medical tourist state. We've improved a lot when you look at LASUF, medical services. When you look at education also, the funds from the taxes that are being paid are what are used to pay the teachers, or what are used to improve on the quality of education for our children. When you look at recreational activities, we can see definitely that there are a lot of parks. And we can also see that we have a film city that's just been created.
Even the preparation of the government in preventing disaster, like what we had during Ebola, COVID-19 and co. So these are pointer to the fact that these monies that we're talking about is essential, and we need the citizens to play their part by contributing their quota into this development.
Lagos State, a vibrant and ever-evolving city, thrives on the powerful partnership between the government and its taxpayers, a force that propels development forward. This symbiotic relationship is more than just a partnership. It's the very foundation of a prosperous and harmonious Lagos. In this collaborative dance of responsibility and expectation, Lagos stands not just as a city, but as a symbol of what can be achieved when the government and its taxpayers move in harmony. In Lagos, the partnership between the government and the taxpayers isn't just a necessity. It's a dynamic force that turns vision into reality, a reality where progress and prosperity flourish in unison.
Thank you for staying with us on the Tax Talk. Like you saw in the big story, one of the primary responsibilities of taxpayers is to comply with the tax laws and regulations to enable the government to carry out funding of public services, infrastructure, and social programs. Let's take a short break and we will be right back.
Hi, my name is Nifemi. We are here at Lagos City Senior College, where LIRS is partnering with Tax Tribe to launch tax clubs in senior secondary school.
For us, engagement, enlightenment, education is a continuum for the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, and more so now at the level of the cradle to grave process, in the sense that these are young people, they are available, they are willing.
Teaching them about the basic and fundamental needs that the person needs in his own society, in his own country.
The whole idea behind it is to catch the secondary school students young.
It's just like an association being formed to enlighten and sensitize students on the benefit of tax payment.
So coming to today's programs have enlightened me to become a good taxpayer by the time I become an adult.
I will make a start shortlist business. They give them 150K to my friends. Let's do this. Taxes? I didn't even think about this. So I'll have to pay tax to build a house in Lagos. Maybe I should take a remote job. That way, I can avoid taxes. But wait, bloggers and content creators pay taxes too. So tax officials in Lagos monitor digital space for tax payment. Wait, why don't I start importing and exporting of phones and gadgets? Bro, how far now?
Femo, how far?
Bro, I want to join the business where they do.
Oh, small. You just need money. I hope you have your tax clearance certificate.
Tax? Are you kidding me?
Without it, shishi, you no fit do. You have to visit the nearest tax office.
I can't believe it. There's no way out of this. I have to face my tax obligations if I want to start a life in Lagos.
Dear Lagosians, your taxes enable the government to invest in education, healthcare, security, housing, and many more. By continuing to pay your taxes, you are investing in a brighter future for all. This message is brought to you by the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, LIRS.
Today, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, is another demonstration of what purposeful governance is all about. It's about another definition of what true democracy is all about. By ensuring that development touches every nook and cranny of our various locations in Lagos. This road is not only strategic, it's important to the entire community of Ikorodu Kingdom. Right from Ogoloto Junction on the Lagos-Ikorodu Road when we're coming, up onto this junction where we are here. And you can see all of the infrastructure that is here. MPA has a container terminal. Dangote has a terminal here. We have a big jetty terminal here. And from TOS Benson all the way to Ibeshe, we have another jetty terminal at Ibeshe. And so you can see that this is a very strategic artery road that opens up Ikorodu Kingdom, open up Ikorodu Township, into other parts of this division. And we're happy that Messrs. Arab Contractor, within 2 years, have been able to complete this first-class infrastructure. This has been a dual carriageway, completely rebuilt, with first-class drainage infrastructure, with a decompile component also there, and it is joining with TOS Benson Road. I think Arab Contractor also deserve another round of applause because it was a very, very difficult terrain that they had walked, and they had walked within the timelines that we have given to them.
You've been watching the Tax Talk. You can follow us on all social media platforms for updates. Now, what do you really think about performing your civic responsibilities by regularly remitting your taxes? Let's get to the streets of Lagos for a diverse range of perspectives on this essential subject matter.
Guys, welcome to another exciting episode on Voice on the Street on the Tax Talk. Assuming your favorite guy, Chibuzo, the minister on the street. So as usual, we are going on the streets of Lagos to ask our guys and sample their opinions.
For those who don't pay their taxes, obviously it's something that affects the nation at large. So in due respect, I feel there should be some sort of sanctioning towards them, in as much as it could be something that has to be like, if it's a business owner or something, you're doing business, obviously you have to pay your tax to help the economy grow and things like that. So I feel, yes, there should be sort of some punishment or I say, let me just use the word sanctioning towards them, in which will be like a fine, more fines towards that aspect. And if the person still voids that, they should be charged to court.
Company in Nigeria is supposed to be paying tax. With that, it will help the government to do more, because the government, as for now, we know the situation of the country at the moment. But I encourage every company in Nigeria to pay tax. If they're paying tax, at least by so doing, Nigeria will get better.
There should be an action whatsoever the action might be, I don't want to state anything, but I think it should start from the government officials before it now gets to the community.
That's it on the streets of Lagos, guys. Let's head back to the studio. The Tax Talk continues.
You've been watching the Tax Talk, and I hope you've gained insights that will shape your perspective on taxation. Remember, being informed is key to making sound financial decisions. Join us next time for another interesting episode. I am Oyinlala Sale. See you next week.